Welcome back. We speak different love languages. Do you speak to your spouse? Love language, what is it? And why should we have it in our relationship, especially in a marriage? Because you know how things are when you have a marriage and after a while it just begins to change, if you know what I mean. Now, Temitope Imo is here with us this morning to help us understand the types of love language and how we can speak right to our partner, that language that they need to hear. So I think we should start from the beginning. Talk to us about what love language is.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so the love language, we actually have 5 love languages. It's something that was conceptualized by Gary Chapman, I think sometime in 1995 or so. And basically, it's just a way that you can communicate love to your partner and also to understand how you express or how you receive love as well.
So it's about how you communicate love or give love and how you receive love.
Yes, yes. Basically, there's something they call filling up your partner's love tank. A lot of times, you're expressing love to your partner in a way that they don't appreciate, okay? So the 5 love languages will help you understand not only your own love language, but also your partner's love language, so that you can actually express it the way they would want it, and not necessarily the way you would want it. So that's the difference. And then I also have to mention that you have the dominant love language and the passive love language. Okay, so we'll go into the 5 love languages briefly, but I need to mention that you might have 2 dominant love language and the others are passive. Okay, as I mentioned, you have 5 love languages. The first one is the physical touch. A lot of people confuse this for sexual connection, but it actually goes much more than that. So it has to do more with physical connection, bodily contact. So people in this category would like to hug, they would like to cuddle, they like
hold hands.
Yes, hold hands. Like so that speaks their language. If you do that consistently, they feel much more loved by their partner. So that's physical touch. And then we have words of affirmation. And people in this category are people that live on spoken words, right? So they like compliments, they like you to appreciate them. There are people that would like you to tell them, I love you all the time. So
constant validation.
Yes, yes. So they get motivated by spoken words, and they are the people that would go all out to hear what you have to say, to hear your opinion. So when you validate them consistently, you're speaking their language, it makes them feel appreciated. Yeah. So that's the
second category.
The second category. Yeah. Then we have acts of service. People in this category, right, are people that like action much more than words. Okay, so when you reduce their workload, you've spoken their love language. So people in this category, maybe if you see that help them in house chores, help with the children, help with certain projects, you just reduce their workload and you've made their day. So those are the people in that category, that's acts of service. Then quality time, this category of people like one-on-one. If you say we are going on vacation, just both of you, you've made their day. They like to look into your eyes. They like undivided, uninterrupted attention.
So I love this conversation, right? But it's challenging. A lot of times, because women are more expressive, what you would hear them say is, so you would hear them complain more because men don't talk much. And so what you then get in a situation like this is, how does one begin to identify the love language of their partner? Because that usually is the challenge. Okay. And that is, you were talking about communicating love and also receiving it.
Yes, yes.
So how do you identify what my partner actually needs? Because you've divided it into categories now.
Yes.
And it can just get very confusing.
So I've spoken about different types of love, like at least 3 that I've mentioned, or 4 that I've mentioned so far now. And then the goal is actually understanding yours and understanding your partner's as well. So for your partner, it might be difficult for you to totally understand how your partner loves to receive love. But by communicating with them, by asking certain questions, by observing them, you would notice that, okay, if I spend quality time with this guy, he's always over the moon, happy, he's excessively happy, then you know that, okay, he has some part of quality time as part of his love language. For example, some men, they don't like people touching them, or women, You know, they don't like so much of bodily contact.
Yeah.
You know, people would, that, for example, that their love language is physical touch, for example. They will be all over you, they're touching your back, they're touching your leg, you know, they just want to hold hands, they're strolling.
What about a situation where one partner likes to touch and hold hands and hug, and then the other partner doesn't like it? So how do you then merge that in a marriage, for instance?
The goal of the 5 love language is to fill up your partner's love tank. Okay, you have to meet them in the middle. You have to compromise. That's the truth. Right. So you can't say, okay, because I don't like to be touched and my partner likes it, I'm not going to do it at all. No, that's not going to work.
So we identified 4 already.
Yes.
Yeah, and then there's the 5th one.
Yes, the 5th one is receiving gifts. A lot of people will say, oh yes, I fall into that category. But for receiving gifts, the main thing really is the thoughts, not necessarily the value of the value is important, but the thought behind the gift. So there's a story about a man that was coming from work and saw a dog bone on the road. He picked the dog bone and went to give it to his wife and said, I'm giving you this because you always be the bone of my bone. And that is a gift. But the thought behind, and then she's all over, wow, I really appreciate this. And then she kept it amongst her valuable things. You know? That's
a strange story. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not the value of the gift. It's actually almost worthless. But the thought behind that gift. So if you are someone that your love language is receiving gifts, it goes much more beyond buying you a Bentley or buying you expensive designer stuff. It's okay, the thought behind that action and the extent of what you would do, okay, to give them that gift.
Is it possible for someone to have more than one love language?
Yes.
So I like to receive gifts, I like to hold hands, and I like to spend quality time.
Yeah, it's possible. I mentioned that you have dominant and you have the passive love language. Right. So it's possible that you have 1 or 2 dominant and the others are passive. I also need to mention here that because my love language, for example, physical touch, does not mean that my partner should not speak the other languages.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they should not give me gifts. If I'm not so particular about gifts, it doesn't mean that they should not give me gifts on special occasions or wherever it is. You know, so the thing is that you must speak everything, but the dominant part is what you should focus on.
But this sounds like a lot of work. Like, it just feels like, okay, so my wife wants gifts, she wants quality time, she wants me to take her on a holiday. So it's now like I'm just working all year round for this woman. So like that's a lot of times, and you know, it sounds like it's something that is fun, but it's also a lot of work. And where it's not happening, there seems to be a breakdown in communication.
Yes.
How does one begin to take, let's even say, baby steps in the area of love language and making this discovery?
So the thing is that a lot of this language, you do them already for most people. But the thing is that, for example, if you don't identify it, you might be focusing on the wrong thing, you might be majoring in the wrong thing. For example, if you're the kind of person that you would work from morning till night and probably your partner is not particular about house chores, you're just wasting your time, so to speak, they would not really appreciate. That's what causes arguments sometimes. I've been working since the morning, and then maybe the guy or the lady is saying, I don't really care about that. I just want to spend time with you. So the thing is identifying. Once you identify it, do you understand? The work is reduced, so to speak. Once you know that love language, then you know that, okay, I should focus on this. If my partner wants quality time and is not so particular about acts of service, why should I want to focus on acts of service and then leave what he actually wants or what she actually wants? Okay, so I would focus on what they want and they should focus on what I want. So that's the mistake some people make sometimes. They would speak what they want to their partner and not what their partner wants.
Okay, because sometimes a man says that, oh, everything I'm doing it for you. So all the hard work, all the money I'm trying to earn is for you and the kids. And then the woman doesn't seem to understand why you're spending so much time away from the home.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so I'm getting, it's becoming clearer now. So a man then would need to actively then begin to speak the language that the woman wants. So in a situation where maybe the woman, so how does a woman then express her own love language, especially, you know how women focus on the kids and focus on the home and building the home and everything, and then the man doesn't understand why the woman is so busy. How does a woman begin to express her own love language?
One of the mistakes that women make when they get married is actually when the children start coming in, that they shift their attention from their partner, not knowing that just give or take 15 years or 20, in a Nigerian setting, the children would move out, or even if they don't move out, they have their own life, they have their own friends, they have their own career, and all of that, and it just leaves you and your husband, and then you're looking at the man, you're no longer friends because you've shifted all your attention to your children. Okay, so you must also understand what the man desires. Okay, what does he want? You know, is he someone that likes physical touch? Is he someone that likes to receive gifts? How can I express that love such that, you know, they are all over the hills, and then I just feel their love tank so much. So it's about understanding, again, it's about understanding your partner's love language. And that comes with observation, that comes with asking questions. So it might look like hard work when you start, because yes, you're practically speaking the whole language, so to speak.
Exactly.
But as you practice each one of those ones, you get to understand that, oh, this guy does not even really care about, you know, these things.
Now, talk to us about this concept of the love tank. You talk about feeling the love tank.
Yes.
Can you give us an insight or an idea what this is?
So it's a concept by Gary Chapman, in the book 5 Love Languages, and then it's actually the basis for speaking the language. So if I consistently speak your language, I'm filling up the tank.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. And then the more I move away from speaking your language, for example, I am depleting
the tank,
so to speak. So the thing is that, we ask ourselves questions sometimes. My husband asks us, am I filling up your love tank? Am I depleting it? So I might be doing other things that are not important to you. And I think that it's actually important, but I'm depleting. Yes,
right.
but if I'm speaking your language consistently, I'm adding up to the love tank, so to speak. And the thing is that it's not a perfect system. There are some times that you're going to, you know, just want to focus on yourself and all of that. But the thing is, you must always come back on track that, okay, have I expressed my partner's love language? Have I filled up their tank this week or this month? So it takes something, it takes a conscious effort, okay? It
takes a conscious effort.
Yes.
A lot of work, Temi Tokpeyimo, but we'll have to go on a break now. But thank you for educating us about this. And I'm sure there's people watching now that they're saying, love language. Let me start working on it. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully next week will be another date with you. All right, we still have Steph here with us for a musical performance. And Dr. Kuti will be talking to us about heartburn. There's still so much more when we come back on Wake Up Nigeria.